Well, yeah. Welcome to Hump Day Hymns on the road. That's right. We on Hump Day Hymns are now channeling our inner Wayne Rostad and going on the road again. We are live in Canada at Glencairn United Church. I am Mike McCormick. I'm the musical director at Trinity St. Andrew's United Church in Renfrew, Ontario, and I have not one, but two special guests today. On my left, your right, is Jackie Hawley. Jackie lives here in Canada, but we have the tie and a mutual love and affection for the Saugeen Shores vacation region on Lake Huron. But Jackie is a choral director, she's a singing teacher, she's a singer, she's a shredding guitar player. She's not going to pull out her Eddie Van Halen licks today on her nylon string guitar, but she might a little later on, when we're feeling it. So yeah, we're gonna do some tunes, and we're also joined by Scott Auchinleck, who is presently behind the board listening and trying to find a way to filter out all the idiot things I say. He's pressing the idiot filter right now. Just going to mute the whole thing, and it'll be fine. And he's going to join us on piano a little later. So let's start. Jackie, do you want to tell us about the first tune?
Sure, yes. This first tune is by Bob Dufford, and it's called Be Not Afraid. And this one is from back in the day when I used to do the folk mass, and it was a really popular one, and also done a lot at funerals, but it's just so beautiful and so encouraging. And right now at this time of life, I think we can take all the encouragement we can get. Yeah, so my pleasure to be doing this with you. Thank you so much, Mike.
Oh, my pleasure.
You shall cross the barren desert, but you shall not die of thirst. You shall wander far in safety, though you do not know the way. You shall speak your words in foreign lands, and all will understand. You shall see the face of God and live. Be not afraid. I go before you always. Come, follow me, and I will give you rest. If you pass through raging waters, in the sea you shall not drown. If you walk amid the burning flames, you shall not be harmed. If you stand before the power of hell, and death is at your side, know that I am with you through it all. Be not afraid. I go before you always. Come, follow me, and I will give you rest. Blessed are your poor, for the kingdom shall be theirs. Blessed are you that weep and mourn, for one day you shall laugh. And if wicked ones insult and hate you, all because of me, blessed are you. Be not afraid. I go before you always. Come, follow me, and
Nice. I cacked my harmony the first time. I hope you're able to filter that out, Scott. I might have messed her up.
It was just a pleasure to have another human voice going on at the same time.
No matter how dissonant.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
All right, I'm going to go turn the camera on Scott, because that's what he wants. Indeed. Yeah.
Make sure you draw attention to our matching shirts.
Yeah, we'll see if we can create some sort of sparkly thing around them. Okay, what do we got now?
Like a seal on your heart. Okay, 2, 3, 4.
Set me like a seal on your heart, like a seal on your heart. Set me like a seal on your heart. How right it is to love you. For love is stronger than death, stronger even than hell. The flash of it is a flash of fire, the flame of Yahweh Himself. Set me like a seal on your heart, like a seal on your heart. Set me like a seal on your heart. How right it is to love you. Come then, my love, come, my beloved. No flood can quench our love, for love, if real, has no end. Set me like a seal on your heart, like a seal on your heart. Set me like a seal on your heart. How right it is to love you. How right it is to love you.
So you said this is a Reverend Carrie Landry. You said Carrie Landry's written other pieces?
He's written in so many beautiful songs and many, many children's songs. And he's got a book I have from back in the day called Hi God. It's Hi God, how do you feel today? It's great stuff.
Oh, yeah, pull
Yeah.
that out. So this one, many of the United Church people will know. Scott's going to show how many times he's played it. What number in the Voices United is it, Scott? Check it out. I think you're right. it's in the 500. But Scott pointed out there's a difference in this version from the United Church version. So all you music readers out there, I'll expect you to find the difference.
Okay.
I, the Lord of sea and sky, I have heard my people cry, all who dwell in dark and sin, my hand will save.
I have borne my people's pain. I have wept for love of them. They turn away. I will break their hearts of stone, give them hearts for love alone. I will speak my word to them. Whom shall I send? Here I am, Lord. Is it I, Lord? I have heard you calling in the night. I will go. If you lead me, I will hold your people in my heart.
I, the Lord of wind and flame, I will tend the poor and lame. I will send a faithful hand. My hand will save. Finest bread I will provide, till their hearts be satisfied. I will give my life to them. Whom shall I send? Here I am, Lord. Is it I, Lord? I have heard you calling in the night. I will go, Lord. If you lead me, I will hold your people in my heart.
I think we crushed it that time. We're going to save that one.
Thanks for that harmony. That was so nice.
Well, I'm going to...
Oh, that was so nice to sing with a human.
That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said. You're so like a human.
Just been so long.
Well, I know, for everyone. I mean, that's been one of the, I would say, interesting things about even doing this, that, you know, pretty much everyone I've brought to my church to play with, that's been the comment. Oh, just nice to
Yeah.
play with somebody else
Yeah.
for a change, you know. Even if you're 9.3 feet away and only sucking, never exhaling. How are you, Jackie?
Actually, I'm right here, right now. I'm very well, thank you.
As soon as you leave, it's going to suck again.
Well, it's a beautiful day, so no, I'm not going to let it suck.
There we go. So, what is your background? How did you end up in music? Are you from a musical household? Where'd you grow up?
No, not necessarily. I grew up in Toronto.
Okay, I've
and
heard of
there wasn't a lot of music in my household, so I guess I was the odd one out. I mean, my mother played records all the time. And I loved that, Glenn Campbell and the Lennon Sisters, and really enjoyed that. And I don't know, I guess I just always liked to sing. And then I had a teacher in grade 2, Mr. Rose, played a song, Would You Like to Swing on a Star? You remember that? On the guitar? And I thought, that's the most wonderful instrument ever. So took some guitar lessons, and my mom put me into some singing lessons, which I always thought I could sing until I took lessons, and I thought this is way too hard. But yeah, and I loved it. I felt like myself. I was always very, very shy. I wouldn't even put my hand up in class. But then once I started singing, I thought, oh, all right, I feel like I have a place. And just carried on doing my degree at U of T in music education, and yeah, been teaching and singing and leading choirs. And
So you say you're really shy. Like when you were singing, did you feel like you were somebody else? Did you feel like you're a character when you're singing, that you're allowed to be out there? Or?
I don't know if it was so much a character as it just felt freeing. It just felt good. And when you feel good, then you can be whatever you want.
Right. So from Toronto, where'd you go from there?
Toronto, then I lived in Port Elgin on Lake Huron for 12 years and loved living there. I had a children's choir there, Saugeen Children's Chorus, and my own 3 children were in that choir, and we did a tour of Austria and Germany.
Wow.
So that was a dream come true. And I have goosebumps just talking about it.
So how many kids would be involved in that?
We took 42 kids, aged 10 to 16, to Austria.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because it's like one of the. I mean, it's fairly similar to some of the communities around here. There's not a huge year-round community in
No, there's not.
Southampton.
We were a year and a half of a very creative fundraising, and I think my favorite fundraising.
How many bake sales?
Well, a lot of bake sales, but my favorite fundraising story was you might know of Pumpkin Fest.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So there was a whitefish salesman who used to fry fish out of the back of his truck. And so they needed a volunteer, so of course I volunteered to go and help fry the fish. So frying fish all afternoon, which at first smells really delicious, but after about 2 hours. And then it was time for church. So I thought, okay, I'm going to make it to Mass. I'll just go, and I sat down. I said to the kids, come and sit with me. And they sat beside me, and they're like, Mom, you stink. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize. I thought, of course, I smell like fish grease. And so I went and sat at the back, and a friend came in late, and she's like, oh, can I sit with you? I said, no, I stink. Yeah. And she just kind of looked funny at me. But anyway, good old days.
So that was your first, real knowledge of social distancing.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. I have a story about, Lake Huron Whitefish. Years ago, my band played at, what's it called in Owen Sound? Summerfolk? Yes.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And the backstage food was terrible. It was really quite poor. And so all the artists were just going to the food vendors. And word got out there was a fish sandwich. And maybe it was the same guy. He was
Probably.
just like out of a pickup truck.
Yep.
And it was like the fish sandwich. I've never had a fish sandwich. You will see Jesus if you eat this fish sandwich.
It's true.
And it was a fish sandwich, like a Wonder Bread bun, but it was tremendous.
Yep.
So yes, solid memories. Lake Huron Whitefish.
That's
I
right.
highly recommend it. So were you teaching in Port Elgin? Were you working at the church?
I was working at the church, St. Joseph's in Port Elgin and St. Patrick's in Southampton, and then I did a lot of volunteer at the schools with my kids. They didn't have a lot of music teachers around. The ones they had were great, but they didn't have a lot, so I would go in and do a lot of volunteer. And then I had the church jobs that I also ran a private studio, and I taught voice and guitar and double bass, actually.
And double bass?
Yeah. I used to play in the Georgia Bay Symphony on double bass. So yeah.
And do you still play the double bass?
Well, my double bass would say
bass?
no. I do. It's in the corner of my basement, making me feel sad for it. It's quite neglected.
Why is it always smaller people play the double bass? You're not a big woman.
No, that's true, but I'm feisty.
Okay. I make up for it.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, one of our best flute players was an offensive lineman for the football team. and my sister would carry home a French horn, and I had a trombone, and this guy... It's defying social norms. That's what we do here. So from there, how did you end up in Ottawa?
I ended up in Ottawa because of job transfers, and Ottawa, I had only been once before when I played in the Etobicoke Youth Orchestra on bass, and we had come for a trip. So I already knew that Ottawa was a really beautiful place, and Port Elgin was a great place to raise my kids, but when we moved here, and they have universities, we've got the National Arts Centre, it's a pretty luxurious place to live.
How old would the kids have been at this point?
My daughter was going into grade 13 when they had it, and one of my sons was going into grade 8 and the other into grade 6. Yeah, so it was traumatic to move because we loved living in Port Elgin, but it was the right thing to do for sure.
Well, you went from horrible winters to horrible winters, so I guess it was okay.
But at least here the sun is shining. Mind you, in Port Elgin, I cross-country skied almost every day, so there's something good to be had in winter everywhere.
There you go. And so once you're in Ottawa, same thing. Are you working in a church, or you just have your own studio?
Well, this is probably not the right thing to say because this is Hump Day hymns. But I said to my daughter, don't let me get back into a church job, because I had done it from the time I was 11 until I was 40. And I thought, well, you have to die or move to get out of it.
Yeah.
And as much as I loved it, I just wanted to do some other things with my time. But I almost did, because I was waiting once at the church where we were going, and they needed someone to lead a mass. And I'm like, I could do this. I should do this. Yeah. And I was waiting and waiting, and the priest was busy, and my daughter had to babysit, so we had to leave. Oh. And I got in the car, and I thought, okay, you're telling me something. My path is different here.
I got out of that.
That's right.
Yeah. So yes, you were.
So yeah, I've been doing. I have private students. I teach guitar and voice, and I've done a lot of choral conducting. I did teach in school, and I went back to Teachers College, and taught grades 6, 7, and 8 music and grade 7 homeroom for a number of years. And retired from that. And I do choir work, and I sometimes work with the National Arts Centre with their education department as well.
So pre-COVID, what choirs did you have on the go?
Pre-COVID, I was doing my Cantiamo Choirs of Ottawa. We've now expanded. We were Cantiamo Girls Choir, but now we've got 4 levels. Oh. And if it weren't for COVID, we'd have 5 levels, because we were going to start a women's choir. So we were going to be age 5 to 105 or whatever.
But still no boys.
Boys we take in our beginning choirs, our primary and our training. We take the boys as long as we can and give them a foundation. And then when their voices change, there are a number of really great places in Ottawa they can sing.
They can get out.
Got to have our guys singing.
Oh, absolutely. So I want to talk about like choral education, because we at our church, we've had the luxury of attending a couple of your workshops. And so for the average person, the average chorister who wants to sing, like what are the kind of the main things you like to drill into them?
Always sing. Always sing. And don't judge yourself. We're very, very judgmental of ourselves. We should listen to ourselves to learn and observe, see what we hear, see what we feel, but don't judge, because you know what? If you're singing, that's a good thing. That's the message.
That's funny, because I was thinking back to like the first time when we came to see you, and that was it. You sort of went through all these like nuts and bolts things, yeah. And then it was like, just sing. Stop thinking about this.
Yeah.
Because I will tell you, even in those last couple pieces we sang, for years, my singing personally was open my mouth, point that way, and go. And then I met all these people who know so much about singing. So, now here I am in my musical dotage, and I get intimidated by really good singers who know, because I know all the mistakes I make. And so, I feel in some ways I'm worse than I was 25 years ago when I just did it. So, I don't know.
That's why we have to leave out the judgment, right? Because
okay,
it's absolutely not true. Your voice is as wonderful as it's always been.
Oh, okay, yes. Yeah. Yes, that is so true. It's as good as it's ever been. All right, well, let's exercise those non-judgmental voices. We got a couple. I think now are these 2 songs? Would they have appeared in folk masses? What is a folk mass? Do we do folk church? Do we do folk united services? No, he just shakes. We just do the same old thing. It's a folk service if they have a guitar instead of an organist.
Well, I think in the Catholic Church, I think it was a time where they were really trying to get young people to come to church, and figured that this, lighter music, the more folky style with guitars and singing in the harmony, I think they thought it would bring in more people. I don't know if it did or not, but I certainly enjoyed it when I went. I was in Toronto at St. Benedict's, and there were some guys there from St. Michael's Choir School, and boy, they were good. I'll tell you, that was church. That was beautiful.
That'll get you back in.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to reset this camera.
Yeah, but anyway, there you go. All right.
May God bless and keep you always. May your wishes all come true. May you always do for others and let others do for you. May you build a ladder to the stars and climb on every rung, and may you stay forever young. May you grow up to be righteous, may you grow up to be true, may you always know the truth and see the light surrounding you. May you always be courageous, stand upright and be strong, and may you stay forever young. May your hands always be busy, may your feet always be swift, may you have a strong foundation when the wind is changing shift. May your heart always be joyful, may your song always be sung, and may you stay forever young.
That'll bring people in for sure. All right. We're going to close with something a little different. We'll just say different. We don't need to go any further than that. I want to thank you for doing this. I really appreciate it. And I also, on behalf of my choir, and I'm sure Scott's as well, like to thank you for the workshops you've done. Any improvement in our choir sound has generally been because of Jackie and in spite of Scott and myself.
Oh. Well, my pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
All right. I don't even want to say what it is. Just do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah. Okay.
Stop and say
nailed it.
Nice.
Oh, that was so fun. Wow, thanks. Oh, you made my year. Oh, that was super fun doing those songs and hearing you guys and making music with humans. Oh.